welcome into the box score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway. Terry Collins along with Murphy Fair. And Murph, we made it to the final week of the regular season.
Yeah, that's we've all seen some pretty good games during the season, but the ones that count are on the immediate horizon, and that's when it gets really fun to watch because everybody's giving it their best shot.
Well, you can go 25-0, 28-0 in a regular season. People won't remember that as much as they do if you make a magical run and get to Murfreesboro and the Murphy Center and play the state tournament.
Unless it's York.
Right. But still, I mean, it should be fun. I know that the atmospheres in these gyms will be electric, and it always is.
Yeah, that's what makes Upper Cumberland basketball so much fun is, every gym is going to be packed every night for the tournaments, right?
Let's go ahead and look at our Huff and Puff Trucking Game of the Week on DTC Sports. Our girls' game, Smith County avenges a 2-point loss, 39-37 in Watertown, as that came on January the 14th, and the Lady Owls on Monday night won that one 50-35. Chloe Powell for Smith County led the way with 4 3-pointers, and then Daisy Claywell and Kaylee Dixon had 8 points each. Macy Braley scored the first 15 points for Watertown and wound up with 22, but they just never could get it going offensively, could the Lady Purple Tigers.
Terry, I know you won't say it, but I will because I was there, and your niece, Chloe Collins, was presented a special basketball because of her a few nights earlier passing the 1,000-yard mark in her career at Smith County.
And my thanks out to Shay at the Cougar. They did a special story on that with a lot of quotes. Probably one of the highlights, if not the highlight of my career. Murphy, you were there for another one of the highlights when the Owls were behind 18 points with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. That would have been in 1989 Sub-State, early March, there at Bill Anders Gym
against Notre Dame.
2,100 fans against Chattanooga Notre Dame. Sure was.
They left the fire marshal on the outside, so I couldn't count the number of fans.
That's true. But let's go ahead and look at the boys' game. In that game, Gage Gibbs hit 3 threes in the first minute and 46 seconds, gives Smith County out to a 9-0 lead. Watertown returns after Kevin Honeycutt timeout to score 10 in a row, but then Smith County led by 3 after one quarter. They led by 3 at halftime, but in the second half, they kind of turned on the Jets. Smith County boys hit 11 threes in that game to win it 51-32. Gage Gibbs did have the 22 points, including the 4 threes, and off the bench for Smith County was Peyton Bryson with 11, including 3 threes. He played no meaningful varsity minutes all year, but we've got 1 that was hurt, 2 with the flu, so 3 starters out for Smith County. I think Lane Bassell had to be pleased that his team responded the way they did because they played kids that had not played a lot of minutes this year.
You know, it amazes me how many high school basketball players can hit 3-point shots. How far out is that? 20-something feet?
19, 20 feet, yeah.
Yeah, and do that with such regularity. If you take a basketball and put it up there and hold it in the rim, that's an amazing feat when you think about it. And almost every game this year, we've been in double digits at Cannon County in either the boys or the girls game on 3-point shots. And I know you've been the same way with Smith County.
Braylon Carruthers has 12 for Watertown. Smith County, with the win, locks up the number 2 seed in the upcoming 5AA tournament at Monterey. Let's go ahead and look at the PRI, that's Pavement Restorations Incorporated. Scoreboard out of the week, Clay County girls win at home against Gordonsville by 3. Gordonsville had the ball down 3 with just a few seconds left, but couldn't get the game time score. They did that, ironically, in the game at Gordonsville when Callie Underwood hits the 3, and then Gordonsville winds up winning in double overtime. So a close matchup there. Gordonsville, unfortunately, with the loss, is probably going to be the number 4 seed in the tournament. They're going to have to play Red Boiling Springs in that play-in game. Of course, the winner of that game will face Pickett County. Pickett County comes to Gordonsville last night, and Zoe, and I can't remember her last name, for Pickett County had like 45 points. and Pickett girls win it 95-44. Gordonsville girls now 9-15 overall, 3-5 in District 7A. Looking at the boys scoreboard, it's kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Clay County beats Gordonsville at Salina 80-62 after being tied at halftime. And then last night, the Gordonsville boys win it 54-43 over Pickett after being behind by 2 entering the last quarter, Murphy. And Coach Greg Bibb, who we'll have on a little bit later in the show, had to be overjoyed with that victory.
Well, without a doubt. And you know, when tournament time rolls around, you really need to not spend too much time looking at previous scores, because anything can happen, and usually does once the tournaments begin.
Go ahead and look at some more County. They only have one game in the week, and we'll have Ashley Patrick on a little bit later. Her team did not play well in Winchester. They wound up losing it 55-26. Kind of like the game at Smith County, Murph, where the Lionettes couldn't get anything going.
Just couldn't find the range on the rims over there, but 16-6, and it's been pretty special for me doing their games with the boys and the girls both winning their districts.
Definitely a big thing. County boys in the nightcap get a 30-point victory over Franklin County. They improved to 19-7, 7-1 in District 9AA. They only had one little hiccup there, and they've got a chance, Murph, to go to Grundy County against a team that is the only team to beat them, and they're going to play well on their floor if they make it to that championship game. You would think Grundy and Cannon on a collision course there.
Yeah, and then when the region rolls around, everybody's pointing at Loretta. They're still number 1 in the state, and I think they're like 23-0, 24-0,
yeah, they're
something like
undefeated,
that.
that's right. And that should be a tough task. I think the big thing, Murphy, is to win your district and don't have to see Loretto to the region championship.
Sure.
If you have to see them in a quarterfinal or a semifinal game, that can be curtains. I'm not saying they're not unbeatable, but looks as if Loretto's the cream of the crop out of the opposing district.
And if you can get to the region finals, you still got one more game after that one, regardless of what happens.
In the sub-state, and no, I do not like the sectional. Sorry. And let's go ahead and look at some more scores. DeKalb County girls lose to Upperman 63-17. Then they lose to Livingston 59-35. They dropped to 6-21, 0-9 in District 7 AAA. It's been a tough year, but the thing that you got to remember, Murphy, everybody when you start the district tournament is 0-0, and I'm sure Brandy Alley is preaching that to the DeKalb County girls.
Absolutely. It's the second season, the one that really counts.
Go ahead and look at the DeKalb County boys scores. They go to Upperman. Upperman wins 77-34, and then Livingston gets a 61-47 victory. DeKalb boys, in all likelihood, like their girls, are going to be in last place in the district. They'll play the number 3 seed, which is kind of up in the air right now of who that might be. They're 9-18, are the Tigers 1-8 in District 7 AAA. But you got to flip the script. You got to turn the page after the games this week, Murphy, because like we said, what you do in the district tournament, people remember what you do in the district, region, or state more than they do what you did in the regular season.
It's not who you beat, it's how far you went, right?
How far you go in February and March basketball, and that is a favorite time of the year. I've heard Coach Jimmy Maynard say if football playoff is that way, and I feel like basketball, especially in Upper Cumberland, where it's kind of like the SEC, it means a little bit more.
Sure.
I feel like that is where everybody is looking to get to as the further you go.
It's they don't call it the second season for nothing, right?
Let's go ahead and look at Smith County girls. They beat Cumberland County 55-34, and then get the win at home 50-35 over Watertown. They improved to 21-6. They've won 6 straight games heading to York. Let's go ahead and look at the boys. Smith County boys lose at Cumberland County 65-59, and then they rebound with a 51-32 win in our game of the week, Huff and Puff Trucking game of the week. On Monday night, they improved to 11-16 and lock up the number 2 seed. Let's go ahead and look at the Watertown girls. They beat Monterey 55-29. That game, I think, was tied at halftime, but Watertown comes back strong in the second half and then 50-35 they lose to the Lady Owls from Smith County after winning by 2 at home. They improved to 19-6. Looking at the Watertown boys, they did not play well at Monterey, wound up losing 46-32, and then Smith County beats them at Bill Landers Gym in Carthage 51-32. They dropped to 8-17, 1-6 in District 5AA. Murph, we'll have an interview with Ashley Patrick when we return, as we remind you, you're watching The Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
DTC delivers the internet you need with customer service that is second to none. We're your friends and neighbors, working non-stop to make everyday life even better.
It's time to go fight switch. Join Team DTC and choose faster internet for game day wins. Get 2 months of free service when you sign up for DTC Internet.
We're standing by, ready to help you take the next step. DTC, making a difference where it matters most.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Welcome back to The Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway. Terry Collins along with Murphy Ferrell. We've been joined by Ashley Patrick, the Cannon County girls head coach. And Coach, you've got one more game, and then you've got the district tournament. I know everybody's excited about that.
Yeah, we are. You know, the weather forecast, we just don't know what we're going to get right now.
I was asking about who was going to play when next week, and it seems like there's a big question mark right now because the possibility of snow on Monday, and that's when the number 4 and number 5 teams face each other. Of course, that doesn't affect Cannon County, but it does affect the tournament if there's no games played then, right?
Right. So, you know, we're out of school for President's Day Monday anyway, so I'm not sure if that would kind of let it slide since they're not truly canceling school for snow, but it would push things back. We're supposed to play on Tuesday, so I guess we'll talk Friday at the meeting about what we're going to do in that instance and kind of look at the bylaws depending on how bad the snow is.
Coach, when you look and you being the number 1 seed playing against that 4-5 winner, is there one of those teams that you feel like is a better matchup for you maybe than the other?
No, we thought the better matchup for us actually is not one of the 2 options. So, it's really just going in and taking care of what we need to take care of. I'm not going to call it a slump. We kind of had some internal things going on over the past week or 2, so we've kind of got that taken care of, and I've told them, like, it's a fresh start, and I'm sure y'all saw our stats and stuff from Franklin County. It just wasn't a bad night. We shot 17% from the floor, and you can't beat anybody doing that. So we've really focused this week on better shot selection, getting ourselves in a position to score.
Well, we've also, with Forest being one of the two teams that are going to be involved in that 4 versus 5, we just got to hope and pray that they're not hitting threes like they did the last time they played in Woodbury. That they even surprised their own coach. I think you told me that Coach Wild didn't expect to see his girls shoot that way, but that's just kind of the way it is with high school basketball sometimes, isn't it?
Right, and I don't know why, but it always seems like it's against Cannon County. But when you hit 9 threes in the first half, you're putting yourself in a pretty good position to win a ball game. But even their percentage that night, I think it was 10 of, I could be a little wrong on this, 10 of 15 or something that night. So that's a great 3-point percentage. So if you can hit anything else inside the 3-point line, you've got a good chance to win.
Coach, when you look going into the tournament, of course, you're in the region, and I know that's a good thing, but still you want to be playing your best basketball, as the district tournament starts. How important is it against Warren County that you play well to give you that momentum going into next week?
Well, yeah, that's the only reason we're playing this game is, you don't want to go that long without playing a ball game right before you play such an important game. So we're hoping that we can put everything together on Friday night, and hopefully that we get to play Friday night because they're out until next Tuesday for sickness. So that's still kind of on the table. But that is the whole point of that game is, like you said, to get momentum going into the tournament.
Coach, I know I'm guessing the coaches or administrators determine where the district's going to be played and where the region's going to be played, but I've got a feeling that our situation has the district at Grundy County and the region at Cascade. How did that come about?
Yeah, so when we meet the first time, it kind of goes year by year. You just rotate gyms for the district, and we weren't thrown into the pile whenever we got put in this district, so it's kind of skipping us again as we go into a new district. But Grundy was also supposed to hold the region, but they do not have the space. To be honest, I don't even think they have the space to hold districts, but that is what it is. So they appealed that with TSSAA, and they denied it, so we all just kind of decided that Cascade would probably be the next best and mutual option for everybody. So we're going to play that at Cascade, and I'll say it's a lot better than going to Loretto. Absolutely.
That was a long ride last year, and I think we had to make that trip 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. So anything's better than that.
Yeah, I will definitely not miss that this year.
Coach, when you look at playing on, we say a neutral floor, but it's not neutral if you have to play the host team. And sometimes they can make that an advantage. I've seen teams that are 3, 4, or 5 seeds advance further in the district tournament because they get to host. You don't have a neutral site to where you could go. I know years ago when you played, back in the olden days, and I was a lot younger.
Careful, Terry. She's not that old.
I know she's not. But still, you played at Tennessee Tech, which nobody got to see all year round, which I think makes this a better, more fair place. I know you have to rotate that, but your feelings on having it on a home floor for one of the district teams, I know you would love it if Cannon County had it, but versus having it on a completely neutral floor.
Yeah, I would love to have it here because this year we're definitely a home court team than a travel team. But that's not an option. So, like you said, when I was a senior, I think we played the game at Sparta. And I do think it has a big effect because, we had got beaten by Upperman by 30 both times before that and ended up beating Upperman on a neutral floor to host a home sub-state game. And like I said, 30 is a huge feat to come back from getting beat twice like that. But I just think that when neither team has played in a gym, that it makes a difference for sure.
Well, Coach, I remember that vividly, and the best I remember, everybody there, besides the Upperman fans, started cheering for Cannon County, and that place got raucous for sure.
Yeah, actually my assistant coach found a CD a couple days ago from that game. Just has pictures on it. And yeah, you can definitely see the rest of the district is really excited for us too. I think the DeKalb players are in the background, and like I said, it's just unexpected, and when you're going into tournament time, you don't expect anything. You got to come in focused, ready to go.
Coach, you mentioned, or Terry asked you about which of the number 4 and number 5, which is Community and Forest, are likely, whoever wins that ball game is going to be playing you. Anything about either one of those two teams? I know we, from the outside looking in, I'd kind of like to get Forest one more time just to let them know that was a freak the other night, and we are the better team, and that would certainly give us a much better seed for the regional tournament.
I can't tell you how bad we would rather see Forest because we have some stuff to show them that we did not do what we were supposed to do in the regular season against them. And I told my kids it's hard to go 2 years in a row undefeated in the district. And I was really going to be surprised if we did that again. But just the way we played that night was just not our basketball. It was kind of like when we played at Smith County. You know, it was really almost uncoachable. You know, the other team is hitting everything that they shoot, and then you can't hit anything. You're not defending. You're out of rhythm all night long, and that was just us last time we played them. And I would really like to get another opportunity to see if we can do better at playing against them again.
And the thing about it is the girls that were hitting those three-point shots for Forest were not their top scorers either, and that just makes it even more difficult when you're not zeroing in on the person you thought would be the one that needed to be guarded the most.
Yeah, and if I have anything coming out of that game positive is I thought we adjusted well. When we came out of halftime, they hit 9 threes in the first half. They hit 1 3 in the second half. So I do feel like we adjusted well that night, but you can't come out and get in that big of a hole. And, you know, we did take the lead at one point in the game, but then it was just a back-and-forth ball game when really if we had adjusted earlier, and I'll take some of the blame for that, that it could have been on our side that night.
Well, Coach Patrick, we appreciate you visiting with us. Best of luck against Warren County and throughout the District 9 AA tournament.
Thank you so much. Good to talk to y'all.
Hey, and we've been visiting with Ashley Patrick, the Cannon County Lionettes head coach. And we'll have Greg Bibb, fresh off his win over Pickett County last night when we return to the box score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Why do our customers choose Homeland Community Bank? Because we're committed to providing top-quality financial services while focusing on those personal banking relationships that treat you like the friends and neighbors that you are. From checking and savings to loans of all types, including those focused on business, Homeland Community Bank is truly ready to meet your needs. Contact us today to make the switch to better banking. Homeland Community Bank. Banking by the people, for the people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Regardless of where you call home, you can relax even more when you trust DTC Security to keep tabs on your home and your family's safety.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation. Play defense like a pro with DTC Security.
Don't wait until something happens. Contact DTC Security now and take the worry away at your home.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Welcome back to the Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway. We want to thank Todd and Angela for being our title sponsor, and Murphy Fair and myself and Justin Malden always doing a great job behind the scenes for us. And we've got Greg Bibb of the Gordonsville Tigers, and I'm so glad, Coach, that we didn't tape this show last Saturday and ask for an interview versus today, because after last Friday night's Tiger performance, a close game at halftime, and then you went to Clay County and lost, I think, double figures in that game. I just didn't think you'd be warm and fuzzy about an interview if we'd done this last Saturday morning.
You probably wouldn't have known that, because I probably wouldn't have answered you.
Coach, I noticed both of you and Clay County are 5-3. How are you going to break that tie for second and third place in the district?
It's really not that big of a deal, because all you're doing is determining what color jersey and what bench you're going to sit on. But if it's like it's been in the past, back when I was at Pickett County, you go head-to-head first. If everything's the same, you go with how you do against the higher seed, so how you do against Pickett. And if they still do that, that moves us into second. But if they don't, it goes to a coin toss.
Coach, a lot of people's bylaws come into effect that not many people pay attention to until you get to that. And, with 2 versus 3, you're playing Clay County. It's going to be on the neutral floor at Livingston, although it's not far from Salina to Livingston. But still, that'll be a special venue for you when you play them next Thursday night, February the 20th.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Friday night, February 21st at 7:30.
Yes, sir. That's a good atmosphere anytime you go in there. And really, you take this district and put the district tournament anywhere that it can hold the people. It's an awesome atmosphere, because of course, I grew up in Kentucky, where basketball is all that matters. Football is just a basketball that stayed outside too long. So it's really followed really hard in Kentucky. And this place and this district in the Upper Cumberland area is the only thing that can match that.
Oh, I would agree with that wholeheartedly, Coach. I'm not looking at your schedule right now, and I'm curious as to how you all and Clay County did during the regular season. Was that a split thing, or did one of you dominate?
It was a split. I think we ended up winning here in January by 5, 68-63. We were up 13 going into the fourth quarter. Didn't handle it the way we should have. So they cut it to 2 at one time.
Oh, my.
But we ended up pulling it out by 5. And it was last Friday night, it was a 34-34 game at halftime. It was a 42-40 game in the third quarter. And I told the kids after the game that it was a period of probably about 4 minutes in the third quarter, and that's not true. It ended up being, after I watched it, it was a period of a minute, where we go from being down 42-40 to 50-40, because we turned the ball over and it led to layups.
Oh.
And we ended up getting beat 80-62, I think it was.
Coach, Pickett County at the end of the third quarter was up 29-27, but then in the fourth quarter, Mr. Gibson went crazy, and your team got the momentum on its side. You had a huge crowd. You could tell that they were very vocal, and you wind up winning that game by 11 as you outscored them 13 in the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think one of the main keys that we did last night was our effort and our defensive effort. I think we did a great job defensively. They had to work for absolutely everything that they got. And I can remember looking on a couple of the guys' faces from Pickett County, and they just looked exhausted because they normally just play 5 guys. And like I said, when we we worked them for 32 minutes. I mean, Tucker Smith did a phenomenal job on Jacob Amonette. He had 12 points in the first half, but ended up with 15 for the game. So did a really good job there. We did a really good job on the guarding the three-point line, what you have to do against them. Did a lot better job here than we did at Pickett County on the board. Just proud of my guys and what they brought to the floor last night.
Coach, that win last night obviously gave you some momentum. You've only got one more game before the tournament starts, and that's against Whitwell, a team that has not won all season long. Playing a team like that leading into the tournament, is that a good thing or a bad thing, or does it really matter?
Well, it just depends on how you handle it. We go up there and we build a quick lead, and for the predominance of the second half, you give your younger guys a chance to play. And leading into it, and we did this against Red Bull, and this year, we know that we had them coming up, and they've had a down year. We just treated it like we're getting ready for the next game. We're using that game as a practice. We're using that day that we usually use just as a shoot-around. We're using that hour and a half as a practice, an all-out practice, to get ready for what's coming next.
Coach, you have to play Clay County in that 2-3 game, and this is no offense to the rest of the teams in your district, but I think it's obvious you probably want to stay away from Pickett. Not that you can't beat them, because you beat them on your floor last night, but maybe the matchup in the region is better. Have you looked at your region opponents? I know there's a couple of strong teams, or at least earlier in the year, that seem to be pretty strong coming out of District 8A.
Yes, sir. You look at what Joe Burns had last year. They lost a couple of pieces off of that team, but for the most part, they got a lot of those pieces back, and they're really good. Merrill Hyde looks a lot better, and I think they're sitting at second place in the district right now over there. And Knowledge and East, I think we're tied for third, East Robertson. So I think the best of the best over there is Joe Burns. They're very, very talented. They're strong, they're physical, they shoot the ball well. So they got the Riley kid that at the end of the year last year just shot the eyes out of it, but Tucker did a really good job on him in the region semis. So that would be the biggest thing. And it looks like if you can get to the finals of the district, and that looks like that would be one of the biggest hurdles you got to cross.
Coach, I'm looking at the standings that are on Coach T, and I'm assuming these are correct. Right now, they've got East Robertson in second at 2 and 3, and then Merrill Hyde and what is that? Knowledge Academies. Yeah. They and Merrill Hyde are both 1 and 3 in the district. So it looks like your biggest concern's probably going to be Joe Burns, and it really drops off considerably after that.
Yeah, I don't think that. See, there's only 4 games that are reported right there on Merrill Hyde. I don't think all the games are reported on there yet.
Okay.
Because what I've been told is that Merrill Hyde has improved. Some things that I look at and some people that I've talked to. I know East Robertson has had a tough year. I think they've only won 2 or 3 games all year.
Coach, when you look at your team and, with Gibson and Jay Foster, with the 1-2 scoring punch of them, I've seen some games where, they're getting 15 to 20 points a night. If you can get your normal contributions from the rest of the, besides that duo, I feel like that Gordonsville's going to be a tough team to guard because you have so many weapons.
It is, and that does make us a tough guard. And especially as Jay continues to strengthen his leg from being out and being immobile for such a long time. I'd say he's probably about 75-80% right now. Starting out when he got here was about 70. So it's getting better. He gets extremely sore after games because he has not, because of inactivity, because he was in a boot. But he's getting better every game. And then as he gets better, the team gets better. And I met with my guys on Sunday and we watched film against the Clay County game. And I was being as positive and as honest with them as I could, is that I still believe, no matter how that game goes, there was 1 minute that we dropped the ball, literally 1 minute. And I still believe in them. That's what my message to them was. I still know that what we did last year is still possible. So I'm extremely optimistic. And I asked the guys, why am I so optimistic after stuff like that happened last night? They said, because you've seen it out of us. And I have. And that's why I'm optimistic and why I believe in them, because it's not just the players that they are, but the people that they are.
Well, you look at your schedule and the schedule of the other teams in your particular district versus District 8, and I think you all have definitely played the tougher schedule, and I think your particular district's probably going to do very well in the region. Good luck to you, Coach.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Coach Greg Bibb's been our guest here on the Box Score, and when we return, we'll have Matt Ferrell of the Smith County Lady Owls. As we remind you, you're watching the Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
If you're a commercial driver looking for a company to call home, Huff and Puff Trucking is the company for you. Our employees are professional and dedicated individuals that take pride in what they do. We offer an outstanding pay package with a dispatch structure that maximizes your home time. To learn more about a company that knows you by name and treats you like family, call us at 1-800-965-5033 or visit our website at huffpufftrucking.com.
DTC delivers the internet you need with customer service that is second to none. We're your friends and neighbors, working nonstop to make everyday life even better.
It's time to go fight switch. Join Team DTC and choose faster internet for game day wins. Get 2 months of free service when you sign up for DTC Internet.
We're standing by, ready to help you take the next step. DTC, making a difference where it matters most.
Why do our customers choose Homeland Community Bank? Because we're committed to providing top-quality financial services while focusing on those personal banking relationships that treat you like the friends and neighbors that you are. From checking and savings to loans of all types, including those focused on business, Homeland Community Bank is truly ready to meet your needs. Contact us today to make the switch to better banking. Homeland Community Bank. Banking by the people, for the people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back into the Box Score. Terry Collins on with Murphy Fair. We want to thank our title sponsor, which is Carthage Safeway. Justin Malden always doing a great job for us, and we appreciate his hard work. And we've been joined by Matt Ferrell, the Smith County High Lady Owls head coach. And Coach, easy game for you on Thursday night when you travel to Jamestown to face York, who's got a little-known player, Reese Beatty, who is back.
Yeah, real easy one ahead of us. It's gonna be a challenge. You know, York's been in the top 5 all year, and not got their best player back, so it's gonna be a challenge. We're looking forward to getting the opportunity to wrestle that bear again. So,
Coach, you were telling me a little bit about that young lady from Jamestown, and I can't remember the numbers, but you were talking about practice sessions and how many shots she was taking. In a practice all by herself. And if you don't mind, repeat those numbers for our listeners, please.
Yeah, the day we played them, I think she had shot about 2,500 shots that day after working out and doing a couple different things. So Reese is she's a special kid, special mentality, and she works really hard at it. She loves it, and she pours everything she's got into it, and obviously you can tell by the result.
Well, and she's got a lot of fans because half the people in Fentress County have Beatty for a last name, I believe.
That's right. It's very prominent. You're right.
Coach, York has beat us 14 times in a row, and I know with the team that they've got this year, A lot of people feel with Reese back, they've got the quality of team that can win it all. And I don't know, with the lack of weaknesses they have, that I'm not wearing my purple and gold goggles when I say they've got a real chance to win it all.
They do, yeah. I mean, they do. They're, I would probably put them, McMinn Central and Martin Westview a little ahead of the pack. But I do feel like AA is a lot more wide open than it's been in the last couple of years, since I've been here anyway. But now York's got every opportunity, and as long as you got somebody like Reese on your team, I mean, like you said, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, but what having Reese back allows for them, it allows them to have a margin of error now. What margin of error they had was a little bit smaller when she was not playing, but now that she is, they can make some mistakes and she can get them out of it. So they're definitely right there among the top, and I won't be surprised at all to see them have a chance to be playing late into March.
Coach, tell us what Smith County's future looks like next week once the tournament begins. I think you're second or third place in the district. Who are you lined up against in the tournament?
Yeah, we're either going to be the 2 or the 3, depending on how all the games shake out tomorrow. If us and Watertown, if we lose to York and Watertown beats Jackson, we'll be tied for second, and then there'll be a coin flip to determine. Either way, we're going to play Watertown, so it really doesn't matter other than what color jerseys we're wearing. So we'll play them on Thursday, and then York will play the winner of Jackson and Monterey, which I would assume will be Jackson. And then, the 2 winners of that game will play the following Monday in the district title game.
Terry was nice enough to invite me over this past Tuesday night to watch your game with Monday night. Yeah. I'm sorry, with Watertown, and I thought your girls played awfully well. They had a couple of lapses right there, but nothing major. And I thought the girls played well, and the fact that you're probably going to play them again in the not too distant future has got to make you feel a little bit better about how the tournament's going to work out.
Well, I mean, you just never know. I don't think they probably didn't show a whole lot. We didn't show a whole lot in that game. Just kind of played straight, and we'll both have some wrinkles to what we've done in the past couple of times, I'm sure. I feel like, we kind of control our own destiny. I mean, that's what we talk about in our locker room. And Watertown's a good team. They're much improved. Coach Price has done a really good job with those kids this year, and you can tell they believe in what she's preaching, and they love her. So they'll be a valiant foe on that first night of district tournament. So we're going to have to make sure we're locked in, make sure we understand what our assignments are, and go in with the mindset we have to take care of business to get on to the next one. So we'll see what happens.
Coach, I don't think it's much of a secret to say that the winner of that Watertown and Smith County game, and this is nothing against Liberty Creek or Westmoreland or the teams in the opposing district, which is District 6AA, but whoever wins that semifinal game has got a really good shot of going to the sub-state. Yeah,
I mean, I think whoever wins that district semifinal game has got a legitimate chance to be playing a sub-state game, or maybe even a little farther. So the path is there. We know what the path is. Everybody knows what the path is. So I feel like we're going to get, like I said, I feel like we're going to get Watertown's best effort on Thursday, and hopefully they're going to get ours. So, get to the championship game and see what happens after that, whichever one of us do, and whichever one of us don't, we're going to get to wrestle York again a little bit sooner than one of us hope to. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the winner of that game has a distinct advantage in where we're all trying to eventually get.
Matt, I was sitting next to the gentleman who was taking care of the Watertown scoring book, and I think I understood him to say they have no seniors on this team.
Yeah, that's correct.
How young or old is the Smith County team, and how many of those girls are going to be around for a while yet?
We have 3 seniors on our team. We have 1 junior, and then we have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. So right now we're playing 3 seniors, 1 freshman, and 3 or 4 sophomores. So we will return our 2 sophomore guards that both start and both basically started both years. we'll return them back next year. And then KK Dixon off the bench has played a lot of minutes and started several games for us this year as a freshman. And then we have C.D. McCarter and Haley Overstreet, which have both played quite a few minutes for us this year as well, which are sophomores back. So I mean, we're losing the 3 seniors is going to take us a little while just to get everything the way it should be, as far as replacing somebody like Chloe Collins, for example, is a tall task because she started every game for 3 years. She knows inside and out everything that I want and how I want it done and why I want it done that way. So replacing somebody like that will take a little bit of time, but I think we'll be fine. I think we're going to be around for a while. I mean, Smith County's in a really good spot as far as girls basketball is concerned for the next several years, I think. So we're excited about that.
Coach, you go on a 32-15 run in the middle 2 quarters against Watertown. You got off to a slow start, fell behind 7-0. Macy Braley scores their first 15 points for the Lady Purple Tigers, but I didn't see any panic on your team's face. They come back, tie it 9-9 at the end of 1 quarter, and then go on an 18-11 run in that second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we've played a very tough schedule. We, by design, we have trying to kind of beef our schedule up as much as we could. And, when you're playing really good teams every night, teams are going to make runs. That's what good teams do. And so I think, they made a run right at the beginning of the game. And whereas a young team or a team that hasn't been in those experiences might have panicked, we really didn't. And so that's a testament to them. I told them after the game, I said, I considered calling a timeout down 7-0. But I don't love to do that at the beginning of games because I just feel like I know what my kids can do. I know what their prep is. I know how much they put into being prepared for what we want to do and for understanding what the other team wants to do. So I just let it ride, and they made the plays that they had to make to get back in it, and that's credit to them.
Coach, one of your major assets, and I noticed this last night and the time that I was over there before doing Cannon County's game at your place, but you've got a great fan base. And that's half the battle right there, is having parents and grandparents and even people in the stands that haven't had a kid play in 10 or 15 years. The girls and boys both take note of that, and if they get in a little bit of a lull or something, the crowd can take care of that. And I think you're blessed in that regard to have the crowd support that you have there.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's something we talk about. I mean, we talk about that in our locker room pretty often. And the other night specifically, we had, all the county teams were there, and that was one of the things I told the girls before we went out. I said, every middle school girl that plays basketball from grades 4 through 8 is here tonight. And the last thing I want them to think before they leave is, I can't wait to wear black and gold and play for the Lady Owls. So it's up to you guys to create that type of environment to where they look at how much fun y'all are having and how hard you play, and how much y'all love each other and how good a teammate you are. And, they make that decision then, like, I want to be a Lady Owl.
That's a big part of the game.
It's huge. And I try to tell our kids all the time that we talk about leaving it better than they found it. And, that's something that this group of seniors and the group of seniors that we had last year really invested and poured into what they're leaving behind. And they want kids to come into this program with the expectation that we expect you to go to the state tournament, we expect you to play in sub-state every year, we expect you to compete with the best teams in Tennessee, and that hasn't always been that way. So the group of seniors that we have now and last year's seniors have really embraced that and really tried to promote it. And now the young kids that I have as freshmen and sophomores, they don't know any better. That's all they know.
That's
so
right.
They've done a really good job cultivating that culture and that try to get that atmosphere to where it's uber competitive. So I'm proud of them for that. And the fan base has followed suit. Man, they're there every night. They're coming in at 5 o'clock, ready for a 6 o'clock tip off. And I'm talking to people in August about basketball season, and football season hadn't even started yet. It's supposed to be a football school, so we've got it going on right now on the basketball side, and people are excited about it, probably more excited than they've been in a long time, and that excites me to get to come to work every day. So So I'm thankful for the opportunity to coach them and be around, people that really care about it and want to be here and want to be good.
Well, Coach Matt Ferrell, we appreciate you visiting with us. Best of luck when you travel to Jamestown on Thursday night, and then next Thursday night on the 20th, you'll be playing in the district tournament against Watertown. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay, we've been talking to Matt Ferrell, the Smith County Lady Owls head coach, and we'll have more of the box score when we return. As we remind you, it's sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Why do our customers choose Homeland Community Bank? Because we're committed to providing top-quality financial services while focusing on those personal banking relationships that treat you like the friends and neighbors that you are. From checking and savings to loans of all types, including those focused on business, Homeland Community Bank is truly ready to meet your needs. Contact us today to make the switch to better banking. Homeland Community Bank. Banking by the people, for the people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back into the box score. Terry Collins along with Murphy Fair. We want to thank all our fine sponsors. And Murph, last week, the regular season. I know Cannon County only with one game. A lot of teams have two games this week and ready for the district tournaments.
Yeah, that's true. And two reasons for that. One, you want to play a tougher team than you faced in your district schedule. But also, you don't want to go a week or 10 days without playing a ball game.
Right.
And you can have all the scrimmages you want, but it's just not the same as playing a game. And that's why the Cannon County teams have played Franklin County and still have Warren County coming up Friday night.
When you look at what's ahead, and I say this in anticipation, you want to be playing your best basketball of the year as you head to the district tournament. And we've seen that happen where teams are sending up right now and other teams are not playing as well. But it only takes one game to get that turned around.
And maybe this year, maybe more than some in the past, we've had Cannon County, for example, lost their best girl player in Abby Lynn Teeter about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. That was a huge loss. But look at what Smith County is losing players because of the flu.
Right.
And, that just emphasizes you never know what's going to happen in the tournament because you don't know who's going to be dressing out and who's not.
Flu and COVID still going around.
Right.
It's kind of a next man up mentality when it comes to that. And hopefully that'll get settled down here pretty quickly. Let's look at the Cannon County. They only have one game, and they go to McMinnville to play Warren County. I know Warren County's boys under Coach Fish, who used to be at DeKalb County girls. And then when you look at the district tournament, of course, it's going to be the number one seed against the winner of 4 or 5. The girls will be playing on February the 18th, the boys on February 20th, which is a Thursday. But still, Murphy, even though it's a lower seed you're playing against, you've got to win that game to get to the championship, which ensures that you host a region quarterfinal game.
Absolutely. Nothing is certain in high school basketball, and that's why they play the game, folks.
That's right. Looking at DeKalb County's upcoming games, they've got Stone Memorial left. Of course, for the girls, I think Stone girls have only won one game. If DeKalb girls could get a win, then that would be a tie for 5th, which would make them play the number 4 seed versus the number 3 seed. And then you look at the 7 AAA tournament. We was in Crossville last Thursday night and a rainy night, and that's where the tournament's going to be. So right now it looks like the boys are going to be playing against the number 3 seed. That could be Livingston, could be Cumberland County. We'll just have to see how the games of the week shake out. But they're going to be playing on the 19th and the 20th. That's on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night for those play-in games at Cumberland County. And they could be having to face, at least on the boys' side, the host team.
Yeah, that's true. And in I think every case of the teams that we play here, the district tournament will continue to be the same through the regional tournament or close to it. But Cannon County, for example, they're playing the district it was our turn to pick both times, playing the district at Grundy County, and then playing the region, which is our turn, our district's turn. It's going to be at Cascade.
And it's just because of the smallness of the gym at Grundy County, not large enough to host the district tournament. We'll talk to Ashley Patrick a little bit, and I don't know that she don't want a seat count to make sure that the district tournament, that venue's large enough for the district tournament.
Nobody wants to go up on the mountain.
That's for sure. Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming games for Gordonsville. They've got Whitwell at home. Gordonsville girls and boys went to Whitwell and won earlier. That's about a 2-hour and 15-minute trip up the valley, and then the District 7A tournament, at Livingston Academy. We know that the Gordonsville girls will be playing Red Boiling Springs in that 4-5 game. That'll be on Tuesday, February the 18th at 6. And then Gordonsville boys will be playing on Friday night. They'll be playing at 7:30 against Clay County. If Gordonsville girls win on the 18th, they'll be playing the top seed Pickett girls on the 20th, and that will be at 6 o'clock. Of course, all that action at Livingston Academy. Looking at the upcoming games for Smith County, of course, Smith County girls having to go to York. Murph, there's a reason they're ranked number 3. I tell you what, York, if you want to go to York on Saturday, they're playing against Coffee County, a game that was snowed out earlier. Coffee County girls under Joe Pat Cope, the former DeKalb County girls coach, 27-0, going to Jamestown. Murph, that will be a battle on Saturday.
If you like girls basketball, it's worth the trip to Fentress County for that one, for sure.
That'll be Saturday at 1 o'clock. Of course, looking at Smith County's boys, they already the number 2 seed, York, with their win over Monterey, the number 3 seed. They're going to play each other again, and my man Seth Hackett, who helps me do Smith County Radio, said, this is like an exhibition week, talking about Smith County and Watertown girls, and now Smith County and York boys, and they'll square off in the district tournament at Monterey. The girls will play on February the 20th. That will be at 7:30, and then the boys will play York at Monterey at 7:30 on the 21st. Of course, you win both those games, Murph. Like you said, you get to host the first round of region back at Bill Randall's Gym in Carthage if you pull off the wins.
Is it that way in all classifications?
Yes.
So the first round games are going to be
satellite out.
Okay, awesome.
Of the district champions and runners-up. So if you make it to the district championship game, good news for you. That's for sure.
Outstanding.
Looking at Watertown, what they've got coming up, they play Jackson County at home. That could be big on the girls' side in the fact that the seeding, number 2 and number 3, could be settled. Smith County would have to win at York to win a second place outright. If they lose and Watertown beats Jackson County, Watertown's done one on the road and one in Gainesboro, then there'll be a tie for second, a coin toss on Friday morning in Cookeville at the district tournament meeting. Monterey hosting that this year. We do know that Watertown will be playing the boys February the 18th, which is on Tuesday. They'll be the host. That'll be at 7:30 in that play-in game. And then that semifinal game, we'll see Watertown girls going against Smith County once again for the 3rd time. Thanks so much to Justin Malden and all our fine sponsors. For Murphy Fair, I'm Terry Collins. Good night from the Box Score.